Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e. Today's topic is modifying monsters but not changing their challenge rating. Why would we do something like that? Jeremy Crawford and the whole design team for Dungeons & Dragons has talked about modifying monsters and how to go about doing it, but there's a couple of things to understand when you come to modifying your monsters and why you might do it and how you go about doing it. It's a common issue for Dungeon Masters, and if you play the game long enough, it will eventually occur and you'll find that your players, the Dungeons & Dragons players for Dungeons & Dragons 5e, understand and remember the monster stat block and the monster abilities in the monster manual. And now what do you do? So when Dungeons & Dragons players start developing an understanding of what's going on with the monsters in the monster manual and remembering the stat blocks and their abilities, there's more going on than just remembering the stat block. What's occurring is they are developing what's called system mastery for Dungeons & Dragons 5e. Your players now understand how the game works. They know how the racial features work, they know how their class features work, they know how feats work, they know how to develop their tactics, they understand how their character works alongside other characters, they understand how their background can be useful in the game. So there's a lot of different things going on, and just the basic core mechanics of combat they fully understand now because they've been playing the game longer. So what do you modify on your monster and what do you leave alone? Small changes to any monster will have a significant effect on the game, and it only takes probably less than 5 minutes, even less than that possibly, to actually make those adjustments either during the game or before the game. A common technique is to simply give the monster maximum hit points rather than just the average that's listed in the monster stat block. Is the monster missing anything you think it should have? If it is, add it in. A good place to start is things like your damage resistances and damage immunities. By changing that, you can change the monster quite significantly in terms of how it plays at the table. Remove some of the monster restrictions that are included in their abilities. So if they only target one creature, allow them to target more than one creature. Give your monsters armor, or give them natural armor and increase their armor class. Add in some extra features for your monster which you think might be appropriate for that particular monster. Maybe it's going to be something you draw from page 280 and 281 of the Dungeon Master's Guide. There's lots of options there on those 2 pages. Don't worry about changing the challenge rating or the experience points for this monster. Now, there's a reason why I say this. One, by doing that, you actually just put yourself back in the same boat you were before. So challenge rating is not very accurate anyway, so just leave that alone. Also, you've got to understand if you change the challenge rating, most of the things you're doing to your monster are making them more difficult. And if you increase the challenge rating, then they start to fall out of the realm of being played by your players. And therefore, you've got to look for another monster, make adjustments to that. Therefore, you could find yourself making adjustments to many different monsters to find one that's going to work. So I think you should leave challenge rating alone completely. Remember, just because your players are level 5 and you select monsters that are appropriate for that particular level of play, once you've played the game long enough and you're playing at level 5 or level 2 or whatever it is, you can deal with much harder monsters than you were able to deal with before, simply because of that thing that I'm talking about, which is system mastery and the fact that you remember how the monsters work. I really hope that this video was nice and simple and easy for you to understand and was useful in some way. I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble understanding that even if they make adjustments to the monster, they don't actually have to make changes to their challenge rating or CR or their experience points, because your players are now playing at a different level. And if you try to adjust it and keep to the basics that are provided in the Dungeon Master's Guide and in the Monster Manual, you'll wind up just falling into the same trap you were in before. If you want to support the channel, watch more of my videos. I have hundreds of videos for players and Dungeon Masters you're welcome to go and check out. I also have a Patreon page where you can support me there. I have affiliate links to the book depository and Amazon down in the description, and I have a merchandise shelf. Make sure to share, like and subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos, and hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.